Hey, how's it going? It's been a while since I've checked in. Just out here doing a little training hike. A little windy today. Hopefully we can pick all this up, but see how it goes. Try to get about 10 miles in a day. We'll see. And I'll check back in. All right, so that might be a little better. Not so much into the wind here. Pretty good gust. Well, we're talking about doing a shakedown hike. I went out to do it. It's like a 2.5 hour drive away from here, a little bit more maybe. And got up there, was ready to rock and roll, but ended up not doing it. One, the biggest thing is I had forgot a few things that were important, which they weren't life-threatening, but I could have still did it. And that's how it started off. And got a little flustered because I'm normally pretty good at not forgetting anything, but something I forgot. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm still gonna go ahead and do this. And go and get something to eat before I head out onto the trail. And I got the food and I was like, you know what, I'll just head into town. It would have been a pretty good drive. It would have been about an hour. Go into town, come back, and get what I needed. So, took me a minute, got my stuff together, ate. One, the wind was high. Like, not a big deal. I understand I got a windbreaker on now, but you know, I have stuff to break the wind. And it was extra cold. Possible snowstorm like the last day I'd have been doing it. Not a big deal. So I told myself, you know, you kind of get upset and you just talk yourself through it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go down here. I know I passed a gas station in town. They should have one in there. If not, there's gotta be something there. And I went down the mountain, which is it's a drive, and missed my turn. And I was like, all right, no big deal, turn around. Well, I come to a part where there was no turnaround. Like, I ended up, it's like an off-ramp to the highway, and I'm not familiar with the area. You know, usually you can go over a bridge or whatever, and you can go on the other side, usually another side. One's the highway, one's the road. It went how it was. So I ended up on the highway, going the opposite direction where I needed to go. And at that point, I got real flustered, and I decided to just drive back home. There's a multitude of things. I was like, well, maybe I didn't prepare right because I didn't have I didn't have a few things I needed, but that's not a big deal. What I was missing wasn't life-threatening. It was just more of a convenience thing that I wanted. And figured by the time I got there, and it was all said and done, I wouldn't have got on the trail until about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm not familiar with the trail. And where I needed to go was probably about, from where I was at, was 8 miles to get to the spot I wanted to go ahead and camp that night. And I just got flustered, which isn't good. It was very abnormal. When I had called my wife or texted her, I think, she called me straight away because she's like, is everything okay? Because she's like, that's not like you to say that you're not gonna do it. And I was like, yeah, everything's good. And that's when I had sat down. I was like, all right, let me talk myself back into this. But she was concerned, like, is there anything else wrong? Did something happen? Because I just go. You know, it's a bad thing, but I'll go missing half my crap sometimes, which don't happen often, and I'll just do it. I'll just rock and roll. But I wasn't feeling too hot. I don't know if it was the altitude, because it's up pretty high up there compared to where I'm at. I'm real low, and that's almost a 5,000-6,000 foot difference, which I know I'm going to be there. But I didn't feel well. I was like extra tired or something. And I had woke up that morning just sleepy. And normally I'm excited, I'm gonna go. My wife had to talk me out of going in the snowstorm. I was just gonna go on a severe weather storm watch, because I'm not overconfident, but I'm confident in my abilities and my equipment and what I'm doing. I'm doing more of the shakedown hike just to knock the kinks out, but I understand my gear, which is the main reason of the shakedown hike. My big thing is I want to set that tent up more, because it is a new tent to me. It's pretty straightforward, but it's not like my other tents. I could set my other tents up new moon, pitch black, no freaking headlamp, because I just know the tent. So that's one of the things, the big reasons I want to do it. And the rocky terrain here, I just don't want to set that tent on all this terrain. I know during the PCT I might have to, if I decide to do it. The area I am, it's more like a sandy dirt, and there's trees. So you can find a little bit better spots than I have around me here. But that's what happened with that hike. I am gonna do it. It's Valentine's Day today, so I don't know if I'm gonna do it this week or next week or 1st of March, because you gotta go in, normally you can buy the, man, I'm just rambling on here. Normally you can buy the dispersed camping tag online, but not till March 1st, it stops. You have to go into the station, and it's a pretty small area up there. If you're familiar with that area at all, it's pretty tight if you have a large truck, which I do. I have a big old F-250. Not too bad, but so had to get in there. I would have got that pass and everything else, but yeah. So if you're in your mind and you think things aren't going your way, just know that even if you think you got all experience in the world, you still mess up sometimes, and you still get flustered, and that's okay. Luckily, I wasn't all the way there. I know if I was in a different situation where I wasn't able to just drive home, I'd be different. I'd have just went. Tired or sick or whatever, I would have just did it. But I think it's a lot of the driving up there, the wind. I mean, the wind was, there was tons of trucks pulled over, like tractor trailers pulled over, because the wind was just, it gets bad in that area, but it seemed extra bad that day I had went. So there's that. I'm not making, well, I guess I'm making little excuses. But I'm definitely doing it. Might wait till March 1st, but I'm not sure. I know I can. Maybe do a longer hike, I don't know. I know I'm going out of my skin more than anything, sitting around and waiting at the house for the time to come. But I gotta go to a concert in March in Vegas. Gotta go see Taylor Swift and crap, so no, not a Taylor Swift fan. I'm going for my wife. I love her to death. So I'll go stand in a Taylor Swift concert for her to go do her thing. I think, or it's crazy, her and her friend waiting hours and hours. I think it was like 2-3 days or something to get these tickets online. They ended up getting them. It's pretty wild. Her friend's up in, I think, Wisconsin. I mean, or not Wisconsin, Illinois. I don't know where she's at, but yeah, she's gonna fly down here. We're gonna meet up in Vegas. So that'd be pretty cool. And I don't know, that's really all I got on that one there. But I'm gonna try to get 8 miles in, maybe 10, depending on how I feel. I got 8 the other day, not too bad pace. But I don't have any weight on my back right now. But walking, yeah, you're still burning calories, you're still exercising. So I know the weight counts, you need to do it. So that's really all I got right now. I'll check back in a minute. Yeah, keeping up to date, there's a lot more people getting on trail. But that's exciting. I get so excited for them. The Couch to Trail right now, they're doing really well. So if they get their weight down a little bit. But you know what? Some people can do it. You know, some people are beasts. You know, I thought it was funny they were there with the soldiers. And I looking at their ruck. I was like, man, I remember them days. I don't miss that. You can't pay me enough to put 60 to 100 pounds in my bag again. Well, maybe you could pay me enough. But I know the reason why when you get older, and if you are older, I know the reason to keep that weight light is because it just wreaks havoc on your ankles, knee, and lower back. And that's a big reason why I lost more, you know, I lost weight. It's like that extra weight, I had been carrying 60 pounds on my frame. That had been way too much. But yeah, I hope they do well. They look really good. They look excited. I'm pumped up for them. I know a couple of other people who start out early. They're way up there, doing pretty good. Bartman, I think, and 0.7. They're doing pretty good. And if you don't watch them, it's Randino. He does like an update. I don't know how to spell it. Maybe I'll put it in the things. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to say like I'm trying to get his audience, but go look good like at Randino. It's like the AT stuff. You might have seen it. If you're in here, you probably know. But it's pretty good. Gives updates on everything that's going on. I enjoy it. I look forward to it every Sunday or Monday. Sometimes he's a little late, but it's a pretty good job. And there's a few more people I watch, but if there's anybody you guys watch that I might not, you know, no, just put their thing down in the comments so I can catch up, because you never know, I might end up, you know, starting with them or see them on the trail or something. At least I'll recognize them. All right, so I'm gonna keep on walking here. So, before I give my thoughts on this, but see a lot of videos about hiking and biking and running and everything, but you know, a lot of it comes down to like it's very individual. But I'm gonna say the biggest thing I've learned being in, you know, I'm gonna call myself an athlete because I'm pretty physically fit. Is when you're gonna do something, you have to do what you're doing. Everybody wants to do cross training, ride a mountain bike. Not gonna help you with a hike. You know, hiking is gonna help you with a hike. Swimming's not gonna help you with a hike. Carrying a load on your body is what's gonna help you with a hike. Your agility of walking over rocks, walking over stumps, learning your pace, learning your gear all at the same time. You're going to two birds, one stone it with everything by hiking. You have to put a load. Like, I can only refer to the military because that's what I had. And personally, is like when you're trying to get someone used to doing a large hike, or we call them rock marches, is you gradually increase their weight. I know people will disagree that they don't do it, but they kind of do it. They don't do it as efficiently as they should, or as properly as they should, or however you want to call it. But you have to gradually increase your rate. So you start at a small rate. Weight, that might be nothing because you might not be used to walking on trails. So walk trails. Next thing, you add some weight. You know, whatever it is, whatever feels comfortable for you. 10 pounds, 5 pounds, just the pack. And you'll learn your pack, what you need, what you like, where you like your straps, where you like your hip belt. So hiking, stretching, yeah, that's going to be very individual because some people have bad feet, like plantar fasciitis. Knock on wood, I don't have foot issues. Like I don't get blisters. I don't get a lot of foot pain, you know. But you're going to realize that by walking. You're not going to learn that, know that you have foot pain if you're riding a bike. You're not going to know if you get foot pain hiking if you're swimming. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just walking, yeah. Like, if you walk, you're going to know your pain. So they say, you know, I see a lot of people cross-training and running. Running, not necessarily. You might get foot pain when you run, but you might not get foot pain when you just walk or hike. It's just a completely different movement. It's almost, I'm not an expert, but from my opinion, you're not using the same muscles. You know, your load-bearing muscles and muscles riding a bike or whatever, completely different. Like these are your load-bearing, like you're using your shoulders, your trekking poles. Yeah, if you're using your trekking poles, you're gonna get an arm workout, arm and shoulder workout. It works out. When you got that load and you're really relying on that thing, you're gonna know you worked your arms out. Does that mean you need to go to the gym and lift weights? I don't think so. If you want to, because you feel that's what you want to do, go for it. But I don't think you need to. I think the best thing to do is to just get out and hike. Might be controversial or whatever. But I think you need to go do what you're training for. Like I said before, if I was training for a marathon, I'd be running. If I trained for a bike ride, I'd be biking. Training for swimming, I'm gonna swim. Now if I'm gonna do a triathlon, I'm gonna train for all three. So that's just my opinion on that. You gotta get on a hike, and in the end, it's gonna be beneficial to you because if you're using your gear and you're putting your gear on, you're gonna know how you like your load lifter, how you like your belt, if you even like your belt, if you even like your bag. Like, you know, and it's gonna rub not all bags rub, but you're gonna get spots that your bag you can feel it more. Like my bag don't bounce around a lot, so I don't get like rub marks. If you are, you might need to tighten stuff up. Like I said, not an expert here, you know, but you have to do it. And it's not, like I said, it's not for an 8-mile hike. It's not for, you know, maybe 2 days shakedown, you can learn a lot, but you have to do it more often. You know, I'm not gonna go give a bag review after 2 weeks of having a bag. I can tell you, yeah, I kind of like this bag, but I'm gonna have to go about at least 6 months to a year to say that this is a good quality bag. I put it through the ringer. I've dropped it, dumped it. You just want to say, rained on it a whole bunch, mud, easy cleanup. I can pack this. This pocket stretches. That takes time. Like I said, we all look at reviews and stuff to see about new equipment, but you know, some of them you can trust. Some that really put their gear through the ringer. You know, you talk to somebody who did a whole through hike and they say their bag's still good. That's probably a good bag. If you go talk to a review person that's what they do for a living, I don't know how much they actually test it. You know, I really don't. It looks cool. I can learn the specs and the weights, to know if it's a good company that makes good quality gear from my experience. But I don't think you can take something and be able to do a review on it after trying it 3 times or for 2 weeks. I just don't think you can do it. You can go, hey, my initial thoughts are, but you can't grade it, I don't think. That's just my opinion. And you're not pro after one through hike either. You know, you'll be efficient if you go do it again. Well, I think you're a pro at anything. I don't know. But this is my opinion. You just take people's opinions. Some people like the Platinum Blaze. Some people like the Slack Pack a lot. You know, everybody's opinion is different, and you don't know exactly what that person did. You just got to take their word for it. You know. I'm just rambling. I probably won't even put any of that crap in, but that's just how I feel. If you're gonna hike. That's the best advice I can give. I mean, not one that I'm just gonna give it freely. You ain't even been asking, but if you wanna hike. Hiking's just walking on a trail. That's all it is. Sometimes long distance, sometimes not. Put your pack on. You don't need to mountain bike. You don't need to swim. You don't need to go in your garden and look at your garden. You need to lose weight, because the more weight you lose, the more gear you can carry. And if you lose the weight, you'll be able to carry that gear because you're just putting it back on. You should be good to go. That's all I got. Hey, thanks for coming along. Yeah, I'll give the numbers at the end. Like I did decide I only gonna do 4 miles. Yeah, a little over 4 miles. Pretty slow pace. It's windy. I'll probably do a few more miles this evening with my wife and walk. When we go for our evening walk, I like walking with her. So I'll probably end up with 6 for the day, maybe 8, probably 8 for the day actually. Again, thanks for watching. I know this wasn't that exciting, this video, but it'll get better. Gotta get out of this, I gotta get motivated, get out of a slump. It happens. Like I said, all this sitting around is kicking my butt, but if you like it, like, subscribe. I have a thing on my thing for community. I'm asking questions, so if you look over there, you can vote to see what more videos you want to see them. I didn't get a lot of votes. I got 3. Probably one of them's from my wife and one from my mother-in-law. So, but outside of that, if you want to see something else, I have it over there in the community page. Keep you updated. You can participate or not participate. Take it easy.